My dear friends, in the previous lecture we have learned that how can we insert data into the database table through a registration form. That we have learned in the previous lecture. In case you have not seen that particular video, I will give that video link in the description of this video. You may get it from there. In this lecture we are going to learn how can we fetch data from the database. So you can see we have got the database. The database name is test. Inside this test database we have got a table. The table name is student registration, and in this table we have got some data. So 10 students detail we have got in this table, and this data, so all the 10 students detail I want to get printed on the page, and that will be shown to the user. So through the user end this data will be fetched and the same will be shown to the user end using the select query. So we are going to learn that in this particular lecture. Using the PHP application we are going to incorporate with the select query, MySQL select query, and by doing that we are going to fetch data from the database, and the same will be shown in this page. Now you can see I have created a page select.php, and you can see a table I have created. The table column name I have given student name, further name, mobile number, city, and other number. So under this menu all those data will be printed. So how exactly is that to be done, that I am going to explain you in this particular video. So the first important thing is that I have created a table here, simple looking table. You can see this sort of design I have created, and first after that I am going to create the connection with the database. So it is required to just connect with the database, that is the test database that we have created, test database. So 4 parameters we have to pass out to do this. Already have explained in the previous class. So this new MySQL function I am going to use to create the connection with the server. Now those 4 parameters are server name, username, password, and database name. Let me repeat again: server name, username, password, and the database inside which we have got the table. So these are the 4 parameters which you need to pass through this new MySQL function, and the result of this function, that is the connection, will be stored in this variable which I have created con. Now localhost server I am using, that you can see over here, localhost server I am using, right? So that is why I have written localhost. So you can see the server is localhost server. Here also you can see localhost, and the username is root. So username is ROOT, root. So localhost server and username is root. Password is set to be blank. I have not written any password, so I have written blank over here. So this means blank, no password has been set to connect with the database. And the database that we have created, the name of the database is test. Let me show you. Here is the name of the database that we have created, TEST, test. Now inside this database we have got the table, that is student registration. We got all the student details inside this student registration table. Now we have created the connection. Now we are going to check whether this connection has been created successfully or not. So let us see. We are going to check over here, just see. So by the condition, and I'm taking this variable connection over here to work with the connect error function. This is a function. This will check whether the connection has been established successfully or not. In case the connection has not been established successfully, it will be printed connection is failed to establish. In other case, if the connection has been established successfully, then it will be printed connection established successfully. So let us execute now this particular function queries which you have written to check out whether the connection has been established successfully or not. So here I am going to press enter. Now we can see connection established successfully. So we have already created the connection with the localhost server. Now let me just show you, in case if I stop this MySQL service, now what will happen. Let me show you what exactly is there to be printed, that I will show you now. So now you can see it is taking time and connection is failed to establish. Why connection is failed to establish has been shown to me? Because I have stopped MySQL service. So again let me start it. So you can see MySQL service has been started. Now if I go and press enter, now you can see connection established successfully. Now okay, now it is quite confirmed that the connection with the server has been set successfully. Now you can also access the server through this root username and blank password. We can work with the database test. So we are accessing the test database successfully. Now next step is we are going to run the query, select query, to fetch the data from this table. The table name is student registration. So if the connection has been established successfully, I need not require to print about the connection. So in that case, what are we going to do? Let me show you. So we have taken a variable name is result. Now using this connection queries, so using this connection which will be created over here, I am going to execute a query, MySQL query. Which MySQL query? Select star from student registration, right? After that I am going to execute this while loop, right? And inside this while loop I have taken a variable row, and what I have done, I have used this result variable where the result of this query will be stored. So in this variable the result of this query will be stored, right? And that result variable I have taken, and I am executing the fetch assoc function. Now what is this fetch assoc function going to do exactly? So this will select each and row from the table. So it will start from the first and it will go to the last. So it will select all the rows, and those will be printed using the table format. Now you can see, so I have used the table format here. So inside each column, each data will be printed. First student name, then student further name, then number, then city, and then other number, right? So each time this row variable is going to hold the first array from the array will be taken as it will be pointed out using the internal pointer. The fetch assoc will just select the row wise data from the table. And one thing, let me tell you that this name, all the name should be exactly match with the database column name. Now see, student name, if name, number, city, id, no. So all this name must be exactly same that has been written over here. Now let me execute this query. Now you can see those data have been successfully printed over here. So first I have created the connection. Now in case connection will not be established, this will be printed unless this else part will execute. If the connection has been established successfully, then this else part is going to execute. And here I have taken a variable result. In this variable result I am going to use this connection which I have created. Using this connection I am going to run the SQL query, and this particular SQL query I am going to execute. After that I have taken a while loop because I have to print all the data which are there in this table. So that is why I have taken the while loop, and while loop will be executing until and unless we reach the last data. So until and unless we are going to reach to the last data, the while loop is going to execute, right? And each time what will happen, let me show you. This row is going to hold the value that will be set by the internal pointer using, and the result using the fetch assoc will be saved inside the result query. Now you can see this result query will hold all the values that will be taken from this table, and each of the values using the fetch assoc using its internal pointer will be stored in this row, and this will be counter till the last row, and every time it will be printed, right, in single row. That has been done over here. Let me just show you. Okay, now let us put some condition over here. Now I just want to show the details of those candidates who are staying in Srirampur. Let me just show you. You can see 5 students are staying in Srirampur. I don't want to print all the data from the database. In database there are 10 student details. I don't want to print all the 10 student details. I just want to print the student details who are staying in the city Srirampur. So how exactly can I do that? So by using the where clause. So if I write here, say WHERE, where city equal to, I will write SERAMPORE. Now let me execute this query. Now if I go and click over here, now I will find, so those students who are staying in Srirampur, only those students data has been printed, not all the data has been printed. So that we have done the over here using the where clause. Now I want to give the user the option to give which data are they want to print. Now for that we need to design a form. So from using that form, user is going to give the value. Let me show you now. So here I've got the form. Now let me show you something over here. So a form has been done using basic HTML code. Now user is going to provide other number, this are the other numbers. So user is going to provide the other number, and the application is going to search the detail of the candidate belonging to this ID number, right? Now for that, so here you can see in the form, so I have used the namespace other. Now in the form action I have taken to the select.php file, that is this select.php file. I'm going to use the method post, right? And here is the namespace other. So this data will be recognized, the data that will be given here, the same will be recognized by using the namespace other. Now here I'm going to write, let me just write here. Now you can see, so I have taken a variable, and in this variable I'm going to store the value which the user is going to provide through this form, the other number. So this other number I'm going to store here. So you can see here the other namespace has been used. So the data that user is going to provide here, that will be recognized by this namespace other. So that is why I have taken the post variable, because here I have used the post method. So here using the post variable I am storing this value in here, and in the where clause, instead of writing Sirampur, I will write, okay, and in the city place I will write ID number. Let me show you. Let me just print the data of this student. So I have copied the other number from here. So this data will be shown in the form I'm going to provide this data, and let me click the submit button. Now you can see that particular data has been printed. Now let me repeat this process. Let me just show you this data. So other number I have copied from here, so this will be printed. So if I give the other number over here, okay, now let me print. Now you can see, so I have given the user to provide the other number, right? Through this form user is going to provide the other number, and that will be taken here, right? And here I have used a where condition statement, and using the where ID number equals to this other, okay, so that will print it. So I hope you have understood how to use the select query inside the PHP application to fetch data from the database table. So in the next lecture I'm going to show you how you can execute the update query inside the PHP application and update data into the database. Okay, so if you like this video, consider clicking the like button, share this video with your friend, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe.